It goes down in the DMs. It goes down in the DMs. It goes down. It goes down. I know y'all remember that song. If you don't, give it a listen. It's tight. But it's Marcus Fraser from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. As always, greatly appreciated. If you could, please hit the like button, subscribe button, notification button. Make sure you stay up to date with all my future Teachable Tuesdays videos. I know some of y'all goes down the DMs. Marcus, aren't you in a relationship? Yes, I am. I'm not sliding in nobody's DMs. But I came here to talk to you guys about something very interesting that came to my mind this morning, because there are many ways that you can meet men and women. But this one here is actually for the fellas. And fellas, I always tell you guys, and I'm pretty sure many other men have told you as well, that the best way to meet a woman is in person. Why? Because it gives you a chance to make an impression in real time. However, that's not to say that that is the only way that you can meet the woman of your dreams. You know, when you encounter her one day, there's so many stories. I will always say meeting a woman in person is the best option. But if you do decide to meet a woman, you know, via social media, which I'm going to be honest, the majority of relationships that I've been in and particular situations, quote unquote, if you want to go that route, have been via social media. In fact, my current relationship with my lady, we met via social media a hot little minute ago. You know what I'm saying? So it can happen. And you know the saying, you know, I slid in her DMs and so on and so forth. And I know I definitely have slid in some DMs before. And I'm going to tell you 3 do's and 3 don'ts when it comes to sliding in DMs, so that way you know exactly how to have the best chance of potentially, you know, getting her attention. So I'll start with the do's. What you should do is introduce yourself and be polite, right? Don't start off with the line, hey, shawty, I know we're not in the do's yet. I mean, don't yet, but I just want to make it clear. You know, hey, my name is Marcus, and, you know, give her a compliment, because obviously if you slid in her DMs, there is something that you find attractive about her. Because if it wasn't the case, would you be sliding in her DMs? Say it with me now. No. So, you know, introduce yourself, be polite, give her a compliment. You know, if she responds, you know, carry the conversation a little bit further, maybe ask her where she's from and so on and so forth. You can say a line, and I've used this line before. Hey, I just wanted to say, and I don't want this to come off strong, but I think you are very beautiful. My name is Marcus. What's your name? And the reason I say ask her what her name is, because you can't just assume that her Instagram name is her actual name. Or you can say, is your name such and such? I don't want to get your name wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, introduce yourself, be polite. Number 2, don't have a long conversation. Now, I'm going to treat this just like you typically treat dating apps. Yes, I've been on dating apps before. I haven't been on dating apps in a hot little minute, but there was a point in time that I was, right? So treat it as if it is like dating apps. You want to keep the conversation short, get straight to the point, because if you slid in her DMs, 9.5 times out of 10, you want the number, right? So don't be waiting for days on end, and no, you got to strike while the iron is hot. So if she's responding, you know, make it worth both of y'all while, and actually make sure that you are building that quick connection, so that way you can keep it going. Because when it's hot, and when it's not, it's not. All right? Got to make sure you keep that in mind. Number 3, the third do would be make sure that you are, even though the conversation is going to be short, keep it engaging, right? This is not something to where you should be asking her 1,000,001 questions. You save the multiple questions for the date, but you want to make sure you open up, not just open up, I told you how to open up, but make sure that you are doing something to keep her attention. Like if you notice something on her page, if her page is public, maybe talk about something from her page, or maybe her IG name. I know, and I'll give you a little bit of insight. I told you guys I wasn't going to tell you the full story, but I'll tell you a little preview. When my lady and I, when we reconnected, one of the questions that I asked her, and this wasn't intentional, it just kind of came off naturally, was what was the deal with her Instagram name? Her Instagram name was Daughter of a King, and I found it very interesting because I always knew that she was faith-driven, but something about it this time stood out differently than last time. You know what I'm saying? So I was very, 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 very curious to know. So yeah, those are my 3 do's. Now let's talk about the 3 don'ts, and I'll go back to when I mentioned the first do. Number 1, don't come off with the, hey, shawty. No. Ask her what her name, or, ask her what her name is, or introduce yourself like a real gentleman. All right? Don't be saying that, hey, shawty, what's your name? No. Put some respect on it, okay? You're approaching her, you want to give yourself the best shot. You coming like that, like you're from the streets. Even if you are from the streets, it ain't gonna go well unless you messing with a woman that ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? And when I say a woman that ain't worth it, I mean we talk about high quality women, right? We're not talking about women that's gonna give you a hard way to go and so on and so forth. Maybe it'll work for somebody like them, but for a woman with integrity, I can't talk today, and dignity and so on and so forth, yeah, don't be using that line. Number 2, please, please, please do not come off as overly sexual. All right? Do not come off as overly sexual. Matter of fact, don't come off as sexual at all. Right? For several reasons. Obviously, number 1, it ain't Christ-like. But number 2, even beyond that, it is going to turn her off. All right? Please reserve any form of that physical talking, whatever you call it. I'm gonna say reserve it for marriage, but I know everybody ain't gonna do that. So at least reserve that for when you in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Don't be opening up with that. You gonna push her away big time. You probably gonna get blocked. So please don't do that, fellas. Do not do that at all. And number 3, don't continue, or do not continue to send her messages if she does not respond, even if she has seen your message. All right? I had to make that abundantly clear, because 9 times out of 10, she may or may not have seen your message, and that really depends on the settings. Because I know sometimes when people DM me on Instagram, if they're not following me, or Betty, I'm sorry, if I'm not following them, it'll go under the requested list. And sometimes it's spam, so I'm very skeptical about checking that, to be honest with you. But if she has saw your message, and she didn't respond, it means 1 or 2 things. Number 1, she was preoccupied with other things, which is not as likely. More than likely, she's not interested, right? And sometimes a woman won't tell you that because she might read the message, but for 1, she might have a whole boyfriend. You gotta take that consideration. And number 2, she just might not be responding to DMs. You know what I'm saying? She might be at a time in her life where she's like, I don't feel like entertaining men. I don't feel like responding to my DMs. Because if you got to think about it, right? And fellas, I want you to think about it from this standpoint. You may or may not know this, but a woman gets a lot of DMs. I remember I was in a relationship one time, and we were very open about things. And I said, how many DMs you be getting per day? I'm just curious, because you fine. So, and she showed me a list of unopened DMs, and I was like, dang. And that's what kind of got me to understanding, and this was some years ago. I was like, dang, y'all really be getting DMs? And it'd be unwarranted DMs. And she opened up 2 of them in front of me, and one of those DMs was a very sexualized DM. I was like, oh. And she's like, see, this is why I don't open up my DMs, because I never know what I'm gonna get. And mind you, this is not somebody that I met on social media. This is somebody I met in person. So yeah, don't be that guy. All right, don't be that guy. So I'm gonna add a bonus real quick, because this is just something that came to mind. What do you do if she does respond and things are going well? Like I mentioned before with the dudes, introduce yourself, keep the conversation short, don't drag it out for forever and a day. If she says, I just want to continue the conversation on Instagram, she's not interested. I experienced that probably around this time last year. It was a woman I was interested in, and she told me straight up, like, hey, I was like, hey, I was wondering if I could get your number. And she was like, yeah, I don't really talk to people on Instagram. No, it's not that she don't talk to people on Instagram. She gonna give her number out to somebody. She just ain't gonna give her number out to you. So, but if she does give you her number, immediately, do not wait, hit her up. Say, hey, it was nice talking to you on Instagram. I was wondering if I could take you out sometime to this place and make sure you have that date and time set up. As a man, you always want to make sure you are taking the initiative and have things ready to go when it's time to go, okay? Women love that. What do you do if she does not respond to your DM? Nothing. You just keep it moving. Or what do you do if she rejects you? Take it to the chin, be respectful. Hey, I'm not interested. Or I'll give you the example that I used. Hey, I only talk to people on Instagram. It's like, oh, okay, I feel that, but it's been a pleasure. Or I remember one time I DM'd somebody because, it was a woman I was somewhat interested in, and, wanted to take her out. And she basically responded in saying, oh, well, I have to make time in my schedule. I have to see if I have time in my schedule. And I already knew that was I'm not interested. And I said, okay, no worries. I said, you take all the time that you need. No worries at all. And her response was, well, I didn't mean to chase you off. I said, well, it wasn't so much of a chase off, but if you're busy, I know that, you got things that you need to work on. So it's no worries at all. Now, for me, I knew that was not interest. And I think she was shocked by my response because maybe she thought I was going to go about it in a different route. But no, there's no need to be disrespectful. There's no need to be like, well, I don't want you anyway. No. Be gentle about it. Be like, play it cool. Be copacetic. All right, it's cool. No worries. Keep it moving. So those are my do's and don'ts when it comes to sliding in the DMs. Like I said, I think it's always best to meet a woman where? In person. But if you are on social media and you just happen to scroll and you see somebody that's just really, really attractive, shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying? But also respect them if they choose to not go the same route you want to go. Marcus Frage from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Love you guys. Hope y'all have an amazing day. Peace.